Kia ora whānau, I'm just here live with Ryan and Victoria, who are here on Allen Road in Pakowhai, Hastings, working with their dad on a property here that's really been pretty heavily hit. Anyway, I'll introduce you to them now. Flip this camera around. Alright, this is Victoria and Ryan. Hey, so from what I understand, Victoria, you were here when all this shit hit the fan. Would you mind just come a little bit closer and just let us know, in your words, what happened?
Yeah, it was, we got warned that there was obviously a cyclone coming, so we had quite a few sheep, and we had our pigs as well. So the sheep, that morning we got up at about 6 o'clock in the morning. A few bit of surface water, maybe knee high in our paddocks, so we got up and we moved the sheep to higher ground down in the back paddock here, and then a bit of surface flooding around here. There's a tree down over our driveway, a bit of water, and then maybe at about 9 o'clock maybe that morning, it just really rose really quickly when the stock banks breached. We obviously had no warning, so we couldn't do anything about it except prepare for the worst.
So you had no warnings of the river overflowing stock banks?
Nothing
whatsoever? No
Absolutely.
Civil Defence came down?
No.
You didn't get an emergency alert on your phones?
No, so the only emergency alerts that we got were when we got a tiny bar of service when we were then evacuated upstairs. There were 6 of us, plus 2 dogs, 2 cats.
Upstairs
as well,
where?
Of our house.
This one?
The back one just over here.
Just have a look here. Okay, so you were upstairs in that second story over there.
Yeah.
Okay, and
So yeah, all 6 of us were up there, and then we had rung the police that morning to say, we need to get out. We've got water rising. By that point, it had come right into the house and was, neck high. So we all just evacuated up, and then I had to get my head office, a few of my friends, and my husband as well were ringing the police to say, go and get my family out. They're stuck there. We're obviously traumatised, emotions, we thought we were going to die, and at that point the water had come right up to our second floor of the house, and it was going up to the stairs, where we then got a Civil Defence alert then to say to evacuate, but that was obviously when our phones had come back on to some sort of network, and then my husband had tried to organise someone to come and rescue us on a jet boat, but the police wouldn't let him through.
the police wouldn't let a jet boat through to come and rescue you
No.
from the second story of your house?
They stopped them at all entries into here. Yeah, the police said, nah, that's it. No one's going through, and just told us to stay up there, stay calm and wait for help to come.
Stay calm and wait. Floodwater
Yeah.
rising through the second story where you guys are obviously freaking out.
Yeah. And we had a 17-year-old boy who it's Ryan's younger brother, who we have full-time care of as well up there, as well as my dad, who is 75 years old. They then told us to get out a window if we could, but it's a tiny window, so...
And go where?
Out onto the roof and wave out to help, when the helicopters were going all around, but they never came to us, and it wasn't until I think we got rescued at about, was it 5:36 at that time.
AM or PM?
PM.
PM.
When it was going dark, we were 8 hours up on the roof waiting for help to come, with no communication whatsoever. If my husband, my head office at work, or my friends and a few of our family had not kept ringing the police to ask for an update, we wouldn't have been updated to anything.
Holy shit. Okay, so how high did the water get? So it came up the second story? Did it?
It got to, so there's 3 flights of stairs up into the second story, and it got to the 3rd flight through 2 steps from coming right up into the second step of the second floor of the house.
Okay. So there was water, obviously. Was the water going very fast? Was it swimmable water?
No, the current was huge. Like, I had come downstairs to try and get the dog leads and the cat cages out just into the carport area there behind the house, below there, we're behind all that rubbish.
Yeah.
And I was holding on to the door handle to try and keep myself, but then it was just, if I had gone out, it would have, into that water, I would have got washed away, definitely.
Absolutely. So you had animals up there with you too?
2 dogs, a big dog, a small dog, and 2 cats as well.
And this looks like, so I think someone mentioned you might have had farm animals out here as well.
Yeah, so we've lost about 140 sheep that all drowned, as well as 15 pigs, and they had little piglets too. So they all drowned, and unfortunately none of them survived.
So you're on the second story of the house, how did you get out in the end? After 8 hours of waiting, 5:30 at night, you got some help?
Yeah, we managed to all get out and stand up into the roof where that chimney is. We were under there because it was also still
Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys see the chimney up there? That's where they were, up on the roof there.
And we were trying to get under shelter because it was still torrential rain as well. So we managed to get out to there and then surf life-saving boats. And they said they'd only got alerted to that Pakawhai was underwater by the authorities about an hour or so before that.
So they got to you at 5:30, but they were only made aware at 4:30.
Yeah, that's what the guy that picked us up said, that they were there all day waiting for the call, but they never got alerted that we needed help. Everyone was out in Eastview, all the authorities and the help was out there, so...
Okay.
And not, obviously, no disrespect to Eastview as well. I know they definitely needed the help, and you know, we're thankful that they were getting the help they were needed. But it was more so just the fact that this area wasn't alerted that we were, you know, way underwater. So.
Absolutely. So you got out on a rescue boat with the surf life-saving guys, and they were happy to take all the animals on the boat?
No, so we had to leave my 2 cats because we couldn't get their cages, and they would have been petrified with, you know, the water and stuff. So we had to leave them, and they were up in the upstairs bathroom. And then we had the 2 dogs wrapped in towels because if their nails had got onto the boat, they would have ripped it. So we just had to wrap them right up and then hold them tight. But my brother's dog he's a big dog, so trying to wrap him and keep him calm. And we've got a little foxy as well. So we got them in the boat, and then I think it was 2 days later my husband organised someone to come out here and try and get to the cats. And we got them.
The cats were okay?
Yeah,
all
they
right,
were okay.
That's great.
Thank
Okay,
goodness.
so you're on this boat, the dogs are on the boat, your dad's on the boat, everyone's on the boat. What happened from there?
So we went down the road, and then the first bit of land was the expressway roundabout. So he dropped us there, and then, you know, we said, where do we go from here? And he said, I don't know, I've just been told to drop you here. So then there's 6 of us with 2 dogs, and then there's a dog handler unit that came down from the bridge through the water, but then he wouldn't take my brother's dog because he was big, and he said that it would upset his police dogs in the car. So that he made he just said to my brother, I can't take your dog. So there we went in different groups with him, and then my brother, his partner and their big dog ended up having to walk through the water, which was up to here, and carry a big dog over there.
Oh my God.
Just to get to the police on the other side, who then escorted us to St Joe's Māori Girls College where the civil defence space was. It was just everything after everything was just horrendous. Like when we got there, they said there wasn't allowed to be, you know, dogs there, so then we had to look for other ways of accommodation because we didn't want to leave our dogs outside because it's, you know,
understandably,
environment they are not used to, and they were petrified as well. So we were lucky to find a night stay at my brother's partner's dad's house where there was 10 of us crammed into a 3-bedroom home. With the dogs as well, and then my company, I work for Hellenstein's Brothers. They've just been amazing with the support and like love they've wrapped around us. And
shout out to Hellenstein's. That's awesome.
They're just amazing, and they found us at Airbnb where we've been staying in Nelson Crest. So.
And you've been allowed to have the animals there?
Not the dogs, which we understood, but our friends are looking after our dogs at the moment. So then we went and picked our cats up. So.
Right, so once that was out of the way, everyone was safe, you've got somewhere to stay, an Airbnb, thank you Hellenstein's Brothers.
Yeah.
What was the next step?
I guess the daunting thing for us was, you know, my husband was in Cambridge, so we couldn't get to him, he couldn't get to us at that stage, was then to, you know, try and navigate bringing ourselves to coming back to the property to work out kind of what we could even salvage, which in the spectrum of things is really nothing. As you can see, like just a whole pile of rain. We've already had 5 skip bins taken away. The amount of silt and mud and shit everywhere is just, it's heartbreaking. And
what sort of help have you guys been able to get? I mean, I can see there's a lot of work going on here, and there's obviously a lot of work that still needs to be done.
Yeah, so my husband's amazing. They had some tunnellers come down he works up in the tunnels, I'll let him talk about that. He had some boys all rallied together through their company and came down to help, as well as out in Omahu. They did the urupā there and stuff like that. So That's been a massive help for us, as well as, you know, obviously the volunteers that have just driven past and, you know, jumped out. You guys need help. You know, we've taken all the help we can get, and then, you know, we've been lucky enough to meet you, and you've come onto our whare and given us the help that we need. But it's just been, you know, the network of our friends in our whānau, and, you know, everyone that's kind of just banded together has, you know, without that we wouldn't have been able to achieve any of this. It's just been, I guess, who you know, not what you know in this day and age, unfortunately.
Has anyone reached out to you guys, like the council or the police or the fire department or civil defence or anyone, to check on you guys to see if you're okay?
Really, nothing.
Has anyone been down to this property to offer their help from those organisations?
No, I don't believe anyone has.
Okay.
No.
All right, so you've come down from Cambridge.
Yeah, so I'm Ryan. This is my home. Earlier last year, I committed a crime, and I've been on electronically monitored bail. I work in Auckland as a sort of fly up there for tunnelling. We're putting in the City Rail project under Auckland City. So I had to move closer to work so I could drive there. I commute there every day from Cambridge, and then commute home after work after a 12-hour shift. And you know, when I heard about this place sort of flooding, sort of about 8 o'clock in the morning, my wife rang me. She was distressed. She said that she couldn't get through to emergency services or anything. So I was up in Cambridge trying to call emergency services. I called them twice. They said, "Yep, we'll get out there when we can." You know, I understand there's a whole lot of people in distress. And I said, "Oh, okay, that's all right." So I started thinking, and I do a lot of diving, and you know, I do a lot of functions for like tangi and stuff like that, and provide seafood. And so I know quite a few divers and quite a few guys with boats. And I rang a couple of guys that have jet boats, and I said to them, "Hey, look, I need you guys to go and rescue my family. They're up on the roof now." Emergency services said, you know, they'll get to it pretty much when they get to it. It was raining. My wife was ringing me, she was distressed, and so one of my mates went over and the police stopped him and said, "No, you're not to go in there." And he sort of said, "Oh, you know, I've got a boat here, I'm ready to go." And for me personally, I thought, you know, that's rude of New Zealand Police to do that. Why didn't they put an officer on the boat with my friend and come and rescue my
We're trying
family?
to save lives here.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, exactly, you know. And so they sent him away, and so I sent another guy over there that sort of, he doesn't take any bullshit, you know, and I said to him, "Bro, any means necessary, bro, to get my family off that roof." He got stopped as well. He had his boat on, filled up. He had a couple of guys with him to help. He was stopped as well, and he sort of worded it to the police that there's an elderly guy, which he is a very elderly guy. He does have ongoing medical issues, as well as his wife. She also has, you know, medical issues, and a young boy stuck on a roof. That's when they started swinging into action, and that's when I started getting phone calls that, "Hey, we're going to rescue your family."
Okay, suddenly it's a little bit more of a priority.
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
like, hey, if he didn't say that, they would have stayed. I believe they would have stayed on the roof overnight.
And there are some families that did
Yeah.
stay on the roof overnight, and that's just absolutely mental. Hey, so what has your experience been since then? So you've obviously made your way down here.
Yeah, it was a bit of an effort, you know. Like I haven't breached any of my conditions. You know, I can't leave my property up in Cambridge only for work purposes during the week. I rang them and I said, "Look, I've lost everything. My family have lost everything, and you know, I'm stuck up here. I need to go." And it took the courts three days to come to an agreement to let me come down. And you know, I understand that, like, you know, you do the crime, you do the time, but in this time, my family was in need, not only as physical support from me, but also for the mind. You know, like
Absolutely,
just a bit of morale booster.
for sure.
So I eventually got released. I'd sat there and waited. I waited Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I got released early Thursday morning to travel down. And the prosecutor come back and he said, "Oh, you know, yeah, well, I'm going to let you go down there, but you're going to have to stay at the residence." So I have set up. Thankfully, we've got friends that had a camper or a little van decked out. So put a little van in there and what is left of it.
So you're not allowed to leave this property at all?
No.
No, you're not allowed to leave. You can't leave for a shower, you can't leave for a feed, you can't leave for anything. You have to stay right here.
No power, no water.
No power, no water.
No toilet.
No toilet. You've got no toilet here.
What's left of it over there.
And so like I have a shower with a hose, cold hose. But I've just last night I rang some friends and we got a calefon, so hopefully we have some warm water.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. Okay, well that's a little bit of it. It's the little things, little things like that just absolutely make it.
But I can take you over just quickly over here and show you where I sleep. So
all right, let's go.
that's the toilet that I use.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah. So currently this is where me and my wife sleep.
Oh wow, you've done well cleaning out the shed.
Yeah.
Right, this is home. This is home for now. In the middle of all this, you've got a Jenny there. That's awesome.
And so I'll show you our shower, what we've got hooked up to the shower.
My brother Sam as well, who was
Kia ora,
here.
Sam. Oh, that's your brother that was carrying the dog through the water.
Sam.
Oh, mate. I just heard your story about carrying the dog through the water, mate.
Oh yeah.
Far out.
That's because he had a police dog in his car and didn't okay, yeah.
Sorry guys, we were going to go for a look inside the whare, but as you know from yesterday's live streams, we get cut off every time we enter a building, so we'll just stay out of there. But you can see there's a lot of hard mahi going on here. Is there anything particular you want to show us? Or I'll just have a walk around, eh?
Yeah.
Hey.
A lot of work to be done.
That chiller there went through the roof that was in the shed, so the boys had to pull it out with
This went through that shed?
Yeah, it was in the shed in the corner just in here. It was just in here. And then we watched it from the roof, it just popped through the roof.
Holy hell!
Yeah, so the water was just
That
really
thing.
strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Far out. Alright, well, I'm just going to go for a little walk around and just,
You
yeah.
can talk to Sam, that's my brother and his partner.
Hey guys, my name's Zeb. I am live streaming at the moment. If you don't want to be on camera, it's all good. I'm just organising a team to come down and help tomorrow morning with a couple of diggers. So anyone who wants to say hi and share a bit of what you've been through, my followers at home would really be interested. But we just heard your story, mate, and that was... What did you think when that police officer wouldn't get his precious dog to suck it up for 5 minutes?
Unreal.
Like, he literally could have left his dog by the bridge, taken us with the dog. We would have to stay with the dog and then take his dog back if he needed it to be in the ute. But
It could have been done easily.
he'd
Hey.
as well. So
Yeah, he's a bit of a macho guy, wasn't he?
So what was your experience being out here when those floodwaters were out? You were up on the roof with everyone up there, I assume?
with the dogs too. So they'd already been through some shit. But
Fuck me. You know, I can't help but notice everyone just has these huge smiles on their faces.
you've got
You
to
don't
do it.
laugh, you cry.
Right? That's it.
You don't laugh, you cry.
Have there been any particular highs or lows that you've experienced since sort of helping shift all this stuff?
Not so much for me, really. It's kind of, we haven't really processed anything so far. So
Were
I
you
don't
here
know.
as well?
Yeah. So this is my partner.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I don't know. Still doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
Until you look at it and go, fuck.
Yeah. How are you guys doing for accommodation?
Well, we used to stay with a tiny house that was built in the paddock down there, and we watched it tip over as we left on the boat. So, yeah, for now we're at the Airbnb with them, with mum and dad, and then we've got given a caravan to go in for like 2 or 3 months. So we're gonna park it up at our
Amazing.
mate's house, which is brilliant.
Okay, oh, that's really good. Was your tiny home insured?
Yes.
Thank God for that. Thank
Yeah.
God.
We got most of the stuff out, but we'd literally been in it for 11 months, first house, and then
She did well staying up the whole time, eh?
Yeah.
And then as we were getting rescued, it just went.
just watched it.
Yeah.
Jeez, that would have been just absolutely heart-wrenching. And all these vehicles, I can see they're all absolute write-offs.
These are all write-offs here, and then we've got another truck out there, and then our digger, our tractor, and the tiny home's already been lifted off the property.
Yeah.
Oh, and then 2 more cars and a truck down the back.
Were the majority of the vehicles insured?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank
Yeah,
goodness.
all insured.
Everything was.
Okay.
As
All
long
right.
as they play ball, we're all good.
That's it. Might take months,
Fingers
might take a
crossed.
year, but I'm sure they'll come to the party eventually. For now, we've got work to get stuck in right now. We can't wait for insurance companies. Right, I'm just going to go for a walk around the property and then I'll come and chat to you guys before I leave. But
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing your story. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the mahi as well.
Hard out.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, guys.
Thank you.
All right, so that was quite confronting story right there, wasn't it? Just gonna have a walk around, see. Oh God, no, I'm not gonna walk this way. Let's go another way. See a ladder up there going to the roof. But yeah, so bailed to this address, not allowed to leave. Got to use that toilet over there. So this is Allen Road in Pucklefy. We are looking at bringing the team here tomorrow morning to give them a bit of help, but they were more than happy to share their story, so that's awesome. Got one of the boys here on the diggers. Got a Jenny going over there. And I don't think I can walk that way, but there's a shed down there that they were talking about getting some help to clean out, so I'll just see if I can get down to that shed now. So out here, this is the new normal for streets. Entire suburbs are like this. Wrecked cars are just getting pulled out on the side of the road, ready to be picked up at whatever bloody time or date they can be. Piles of rubbish like this on the side of the road. This is just all over the place. Very normal. If you want something fun to do, go on Google Maps, look up Allen Road, Pucklefy, and just have a look at how beautiful this street looked before all this mess. So we're just going to head down here and just have a look at their shed. They said they've got a whole lot of hay bales down in the shed that need to be pulled out and just burnt because they are no good for feed anymore. Not that they have any stock here to feed anymore. As you heard, they lost, what was it, 140 something sheep, 120 something sheep and some pigs and some baby sows. Did I say baby sows? I meant piglets. That's what I meant. And after we have a look at this shed, we might just go down to the end property down there and just see how they're doing. I do have the owner's permission for filming, just for anyone wondering. Right, there's a shed over there. There's another written off car. Doors are all open there. And yeah, that van's obviously written off as well. Still got everyone's sleeping gears and stuff in it. So a lot of people out here, like the RSC workers and things that are working on orchards, they actually lived out here down long driveways like this. And when everything hit, there was just no longer any access to get in and out of here to get back and see what they could salvage out of their vehicles and their homes. So as you can see, the diggers and stuff have been through. They've cleared the driveway, which is great. That means the next stage of work can begin. So we can't walk in here at all. Honestly, this silt and mud, it's like quicksand. I mean, if you're really fast, you could probably run over it, but I wouldn't risk it. You sink so quickly, and if you start trying to move around, you just sink even faster. So yeah, it's a bit of a hazard. All these fruit trees, they're all fucked. They're all going. You see all the mud at the bottom of their trunks, all their silt just rotting them from the outside in. All these apples, they are no longer going to the people of Hawke's Bay. They are no longer going to be ferried around the country. Okay, so it looks like vehicles have been in here. It looks like a lot of furniture's been pulled out, a lot of jibbing and stuff. This bottom story of this house, I can see floodwater lines going all the way up to the top of those windows. Oh, look at that beautiful spa pool over there. Bugger. Oh man. All these lemon trees. I'm not sure what's down here, guys. I haven't been down here yet, but let's have a look. Pukekos, you know, they are the only birds that I've seen running around this area. I see a few sparrows that fly overhead or land on the power lines, but those pukekos are the only life that I see running around on the ground. Overnight, it's really funny going to sleep overnight in Hawke's Bay at the moment. All you can hear is helicopters going. I'm not sure what they're doing, but yeah, just the constant helicopters flying around is a little bit unnerving. Oh yeah, it looks like the shed's been scraped out. Looks like they've done some pretty good work down this end. Alright. But yeah, it's a real shame, all these orchards. Just, yeah. Hawke's Bay is no longer the fruit bowl of New Zealand. It's the silt and mud bowl. Alright guys, I'll end the live here, and I've taken a whole lot of photos today, so I'll post that up this afternoon. Again, thank you so much for all your help and support from home, the positive messages. I'm getting a lot of messages from people who wish they could be here. Honestly, if you want something to do that can help, if you can't be here, if you can't donate, if you can't do any of those things, one thing you can do that's really helpful is share videos like this around. Share it around. Let people hear the true stories of what's actually going on and what's actually happened, not the mainstream media bullshit. If you do know anyone who can come down here and wants to join one of our work teams, please get them to send me a private message or something. I'll put them in touch. I've still got 2 funding drives going at the moment if anyone wants to support that way. One of the funding drives is purely to fuel up heavy vehicles and machinery like tipper trucks and diggers and things. So these guys are using a digger here that they're having trouble maintaining financially, so while the team's working on the property here, I'll be fueling up their vehicles with that funding drive account. So thank you if you've put money in there. The other funding drive account that I'm doing at the moment is just for other things, other team needs. So that covers things like portaloo hire, digger hire, gumboots, PPE, anything that the team needs. I firmly believe that I need to look after my team that's out there working. If I don't look after the team, then they're not going to turn up, so very important. Yes, kia ora. Hi there. I'm just got someone approaching me, guys. I'm going to end the live stream here and I'll catch up with you guys later.